So welcome to the first episode of the Modern Retro Gamer. On this channel, I'll be discussing stuff, mainly stuff like video games. And seeing how we're in October right now, I was going to discuss survival horror games like Silent Hill or Resident Evil. But instead, I decided I want to tell you guys a couple stories about a couple of haunted houses that I used to live in and one that I'm currently living in right now that isn't haunted. But anymore, it isn't haunted anymore, and I'll explain that here in a bit. This first house, this was back in 2000. I was 22. I was living with my grandparents at the time, and one night me and a buddy of mine were hanging out at the house. My grandparents had went out of town. I was in my room. The sun was already setting. He was in the kitchen. I was laying down in my bedroom on the floor playing a video game. I had the lights turned off, and I'm in there, and he comes running down the hallway, burst into the door, and he wanted to know who that little girl was that walked out of my room and down the hall into my grandparents' bedroom. I told him there was no little girl there. I wasn't there by myself. And he said, no, I saw a little girl walking out of your room and walking down the hall, and she went into your grandparents' bedroom. Of course, we went and checked, and there was nobody in there. Well, we got out of the house, and we just took a drive or whatever. And that house at night was something else. I'd go to bed, I'd shut my bedroom door, and I'd hear a knocking. Not really a knocking, but it was like a tapping sound on my bedroom door. And it'd wake me up, and I knew something was going on. And I'd wake up like in the morning. My TV would be unplugged. The cable would be unplugged from the back of the TV. Posters would be ripped down off the walls. And one night, I was watching TV in the living room. I was laying on the couch and I fell asleep. Well, my grandparents decided to leave me there. They covered me with a blanket and they went to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night and I could hear footsteps in the kitchen. It was completely dark, but you could see the light coming in, the moonlight coming in through the windows. So I kind of like turned my head to look, and I saw a shadow walking back and forth in the kitchen. I lay there unable to move, but I got the courage and I got up off the couch slowly and tippy-toed into my bedroom, and I shut the door and I turned the lights on, and I pretty much stayed up the rest of the night. So one day I was cleaning my bedroom, and across the hallway from my bedroom was a guest room, and I was taking stuff back and forth from my bedroom to the guest room, and my grandmother was laying down on the couch watching TV. Where she was laying down, you could see down the hallway, so she was watching me do this back and forth. And I went, and this was like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I went in there to ask her if I can. I had a big roll of carpet in my bedroom that I wanted to put in the garage. So I asked her if it was okay for me to take the carpet and put it in the garage. She said, yeah. The carpet was pretty big, it was pretty heavy. She told me, why don't you get Lynn to help you? Lynn was a friend of mine. And I told her that Lynn wasn't here at the house. She goes, are you sure? I was like, yes, because I'm in here by myself. I'm trying to clean the room out. She told me that when I was crossing the hall from my bedroom to the guest room, she saw a little girl walking in front of me into the guest room. And then when I came back out of the guest room back into my bedroom, the little girl was behind me, walking behind me. And she thought Lynn was there because he had a daughter. I told her I was alone. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit. And I'd get stuff like, I'd go to bed and I'd leave the TV on so I could have some light. And then the TV would turn off. So I'd get up, turn it back on again, and lay down, and the TV would turn off again. So I got up one more time. I turned the TV on. I lay down in bed, and it felt like somebody sat on the bed with me. I felt the bed go down. I couldn't move. I just laid there. The TV stayed on, and eventually I fell asleep. That's just one of the stories about this house that I used to live in. On the next episode, I'll tell you about this house. Now, this house was a doozy. But anyways, thanks for checking out my channel, and we'll see you on the next episode.